Welcome back to my channel, guys. This is the second look of Spooktober with your girl Imani. Let's go ahead and get straight into this video. It's super easy, super simple, and super sexy. So first things first, I'm going in with the Shop Miss A Inner Self Youthful Glow Primer, and I'm going to prime my face. I actually didn't do too much as far as my normal prepping. This one was pretty simple. I put on a primer and I laid my brows down. I went in with the NYX brow gel and I combed that through. And when I tell you guys this look is really simple, like a lot of the looks that I'll be doing for my Spooktober series, you can literally do at home. All you have to do is just go pick up some makeup. You can either pick up a paint palette or just a few things, whether that be from Shop Miss A or that be from Ulta, Walmart, CVS, doesn't matter. Everything that I'll be using, you can literally buy and do it at home with the help of the tutorial. So I am filling in my brows. I actually decided to go in a little darker than normal because I really want my brows to pop. You guys know when I normally do my brows, they're typically fluffy and, you know, airy, but no, in this one I was like, let me go heavy handed on the brows, giving you like 2016, 2015, 2014 brow type vibes. And honestly, I was just like, it's gonna eat. It's gonna eat. I already know. You guys saw from the beginning, it's gonna eat. So the next thing I'm going to go into is the concealer by Shop Miss A as well. I believe this was in the shade T1, and I'm just going to clean up my brows. I'm not really doing anything specific. You can even, if you want to, that is, you can even, like, once you lay down your brows, you can create your own brow and do something a little bit more dramatic. However, for me, because I just didn't feel like doing the most, I wanted this to be very simple. I just went ahead and followed my natural brow shape, and I'm just cleaning it up like usual. So if you're wanting to figure out how to clean up your brows, you can either go in with your favorite foundation or a concealer that matches your skin tone, preferably that, or you can go in with a concealer that you normally use to highlight with. Either way, it's going to get covered up with other makeup to blend it out or mesh it together. So like I said, I'm just cleaning up my brows here, and it is easier if you guys have your brows trimmed or, you know, put together. Like, don't just try to go in with your brows all over the place because it's going to show through in the makeup and it's not going to look as neat. But after I got that concealer on, I'm going to take a brush. It doesn't really matter what brush, honestly, guys. Most people will be like, oh, use this brush. I only do that when I'm very particular about the way something is coming out. But when it comes to blending out certain things, I just grab whatever brush is closest to me, and I'm literally just blending out that concealer so it doesn't leave any harsh lines. And that way we're just blending. We're always blending when we're doing makeup. So the next thing I'm going to use is also another, it's not concealer, I'm sorry, it's foundation by Shop Miss A. This one is in the shade T1, it's the same as my concealer, and I know it's bright, but I kind of wanted that because of what I'm doing with the whole leopard look anyway. I didn't want it to be my exact skin tone. I mean, you can, but I mean, for the most part, it's going to get covered up by other makeup anyway. So just grab whatever foundation you want to use, and we're just going to work that in all over the place. And then after I have that on, I'm going to go in with a Shop Miss A eyeshadow palette. So specifically, I use like the orange tone in there. I used 2 of the browns. One was more neutral that matched my skin tone, and that was to start laying the foundation of where exactly I wanted to place these colors. Because primarily when I did this, the eyeshadow was really on my forehead, under my eyes and my cheekbones. I really didn't place it anywhere else when it came to laying down the base color for this leopard look. So yes, I did create a base. What I did was I took the neutral shade, like I said, cheekbones, forehead, and then I took a darker shade and then I put that under my cheekbones and on the perimeter of my forehead closest to my hairline. And then I did take that orange shade and mix it with that darker brown color, and I did start mixing it in with the color that was closest to my hairline, just so I can have more of a gradient effect and start warming up my face for the base before I put down the spots. So I did go into another palette and use a warmer brown, and I did place that in the middle of my forehead just because I did want that neutral color to pop some more, and I really wanted that gradient effect to show. So you don't actually have to use the same colors. If you want to use like oranges, yellows, and whites for a tiger, or if you want to use like golden brown colors for a lion, or specifically, like I said, the browns that I'm using for a leopard or anything, you can. Or you could just get creative and use whatever colors you want to create a gradient effect. And that's pretty much what I did. Then I went into a white eyeshadow and I started creating that white cast under my eye. I know it's a little crazy right now, but I was doing this because if you actually look at a leopard, their skin, or their fur I should say, goes into like a gradient effect. It's from like a tannish, a brown to a tan to a white, and I wanted to incorporate that white closest to the inner parts of my face. So this is the part where also too, when you're doing this, you're going to go back and forth between the brushes. So with the white, I pressed it on in the middle of my forehead, under my eye, and then later on in the video, I pressed it on the bridge of my nose too. But I put the white there just to centralize some highlight, as well as making sure I am staying true to what a leopard looks like. But then I did go back into the brown and I warmed up the edges so that way the white didn't look so harsh, or didn't look just like I just tapped it on and left it. Then I'm going in with that same brown and I'm starting to create that nose contour similar to a cat or a leopard or whatever animal you're doing. And no, I didn't really focus too much on blending it out, because obviously when doing an animal print makeup, or any animal for that matter, everything's very exaggerated, everything's very prominent, so we wanted to keep it that way. Now I'm going in with the Shop Miss A eyeshadow primer. This is the only eyeshadow primer that I actually like. I've tried others and I just didn't like the way they made my eyeshadow look. They either made it crease or it just didn't stick. But I normally use a concealer, but this primer right here is so good. It's so tacky and it really takes on the color and makes it stick, and vibrant. Like, and then mind you, it's only $1. Like, who doesn't want like $1 makeup? Like, this one is literally amazing. So I put that on my lid and I'm literally just blending it out. I was not trying to be neat in any sort of fashion, just because this look is kind of like feral. So, you know, you don't want it to be too polished, because too polished is like, oh, it's too perfect. Like, it's gonna be perfect, but it's not gonna be perfect. Like, is that if that makes sense? So I went ahead and I blended that out, and then I actually went into the Morphe Artistry palette, and I decided to use like this orangey, like, it's not even brown, like it's just like an orange, it's like a burnt orange color. And I'm gonna do an exaggerated like flare out on the outer corners of my eye with this, and I'm just going to connect it to the corner of my eye as well. And I'm doing this because, you know, most lions, cats in general have that nice slant and have that lifted look, and because I put that white on there, I wanted to keep that look lifted. So this is why I'm also flaring out this eyeshadow. I'm actually not being neat, I'm literally tapping this color on, and I'm not bringing it up to my brow bone because I don't want that color to be in my brow bone, but I packed it on there and I'm literally like blending it outwards, but I'm not doing it to the point to where it's super blended, because I still wanted that color to show. And then I think I actually took that same shade and I started tapping it on the outer edges of that white just to marry everything together so everything looks cohesive. And then I went in with like a softer burnt orange and I put that on my lid. I was gonna go white, but I felt like the white was gonna give gazelle, so I was like, nah, let's go in for like a softer burnt orange, and it actually ate. So I was like, perfect. Afterwards, I went ahead and I started taking a black gel liner and I started lining my waterline with it. And then I did go a little bit more exaggerated too, because I knew I wanted to add that inner corner tip. So I actually drug it out and I drug it a little bit under my waterline as well, because I really needed that black to pop. I didn't really want it to just be super neat or just super regular. Everything about this look is super exaggerated, and that's the fun part, and that's what actually made this look. Everything was super exaggerated. So this gel liner, I think this gel liner was by Kiss New York Pro. They have really good gel liners. I have a lot of black and brown ones by them. They're super like creamy, but they also dry down matte, so they don't budge, and that's why I really like them. Then I'm going back in with that same foundation, and now I'm just cleaning up underneath my quote-unquote contour, just to marry everything together so nothing looks like it was just placed on the face. So it's weird because everything was not meant to be neat, but you still have to clean it up. And yes, I did take some of that foundation and press it into the white, because once again, we're still blending things out. Just, if you're gonna follow this tutorial, just make sure you follow it to the T with this aspect, and just pressing everything together. I didn't use a lot of foundation either, and that foundation I believe is actually matte too, so it didn't really like, I guess, like not blend. What's the word I'm looking for? It didn't mess up the white when I went into it, because you know how sometimes when you put like any color over a white, it messes up the white. No, this one, it actually like pressed it into my skin and made it more meshed, if that makes sense. For whatever reason, I cannot find the words today. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I cannot. But I'm going in with a NYX Epic ink liner, and I'm creating another exaggerated bold wing liner, because if you're a makeup girly that started when I did, who doesn't love an exaggerated bold wing liner? Like, come on now, it's super duper gorgeous. And I am making it meet with the gel liner as well on the inner corners of my eye, because we're giving cat look, right? So I started off doing the spots, and then I was like, it'll probably be easier and probably look more realistic if I put down the brown spots first, and then kind of just took that black ink liner and went around it that way. So that's what I opted in doing. So I'm actually going back in with the Shop Miss A palette, taking that dark brown that I use on the outer corner of my forehead, and with this brush right here, I'm just tapping. I can't tell you, I was like, oh, 2 times here and drag it here. No, I literally just let my hand just do whatever. And that's the best way to get leopard spots, because none of their spots look the same. So when you're doing this part, just have fun with it. It does not matter what you're doing. If you want to do a whole bunch of small little spots, you can do it. If you want to do big spots, if you want to do both, you can. You don't have to be perfect with the spots, because the whole point is to give off that leopard print look. But I did actually put some on my neck and my shoulders just to bring it down, because I felt like it was going to be boring if I just stopped in my face. I was like, let's drag it down just a little bit. Now, if you're wondering too, when it comes to taking it off, I know some people are like, oh, it's going to be a hassle taking off eyeshadow body. No, it's not. Get you a paper towel and some micellar water, and it comes off literally like a dry erase board, like a marker on a dry erase board. It's so easy. So like I said, I'm bringing that down, putting it on my shoulders. And then after I placed all the spots where I wanted them to be, I went in with that NYX Epic ink liner, and I kind of just started choosing random spots to outline. Also, I'm doing the same thing on my eyes, just because I was being a little extra and I felt like the look needed it. I feel like I was missing some more spots, and what's a leopard without its spots? Then I took that same brown, put it on my nose, but then I mixed it in with the black, because I felt like the brown once again was giving like gazelle, and I'm like, I don't want to be a gazelle or a reindeer, I want to be a leopard. So I took some of that black and mixed it, and it gave me the perfect nose, and I was like, ah, yes. So on this part, you don't have to like outline the whole like blob or shape. You can literally just choose some sides, because once again, if you look at a leopard, their whole thing isn't outlined in the black. So I kind of just chose some sides, and I wasn't actually being neat about how I was outlining. I kind of was just, if it looked right going around it, I just made sure that there was no negative space, if that makes sense, with the spots as well. So I outlined it, but it wasn't a neat outline to the T. It was kind of just making sure I got that black liner on there to make sure it was giving off leopard print spots. Another thing that I did, which you'll see me do after I outline all of these, but I want to go ahead and tell you guys now, because when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, it's giving, but I feel like it's missing some more spots, and I just didn't want to go back in with any more brown, because I felt like that brown was just going to be too much. And also, I think it's just because I used really big spots. I actually went in with my the same ink liner you see me using right now, and I just created little black outlines, almost like little parentheses, like squiggly parentheses, and in between the bigger spots, just to give off that illusion of the leopard print spots.
me here, I'll fuck myself. Only been a few hours, but it feel like days. Only been days, but it feel like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do what you want. At this time, doing what I want. Hope you doing what you want. Who you want? My new bitch look like Halle Berry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old bitch fun like Jackie Brown. I wanna love her, she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime, it's not going well. It's some me time. Hope you know what you want. Crib by the beach like Odell. Over my killers don't tell. Shadow my mark of the New York the shelf. Now my bitch is Chanel. Will you be my leading lady? So I actually have a lot of brown lip liners, but one thing I noticed that eyeshadow tends to stay longer and looks way better. It's more pigmented and it's way more matte. So I went in with the same brown that I use for my spots and I started lining my lips with it because I wanted to make sure that my lip also stood out amongst the rest of this look. And I'm literally lining my lips with brown eyeshadow and it does not budge. You literally have to take micellar water and wipe it off. Even when I was like wiping my face, I was like, wow, it's not moving. And I was like in love. I think I drank something too when it didn't move. And I was just like, I'm not late to the game. I've been new about this, but just doing it with a Halloween look makes sense, especially if you're going to a Halloween party. Perfection. Then I took like this jumbo crayon by Shop Miss A. It's in this really, really pretty nude. And I put that on my lips. And then I actually went in with like their liquid chrome highlighter. I love this one because it does not like stay greasy. It does not move. Once you put it on, it dries and sets in place, which I'll be showing you. It's actually in the shade sepia. And I thought it was super pretty. Like, look at that. You would think like, oh girl, it's gonna move. And then I was like, I actually kind of just like it on the top lip alone. So I did not take it all the way down, but it dries down and literally my lip did not budge. Like I said, I wiped, I washed, I did all that stuff. I did everything to my face and it did not budge. So now I'm taking the, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. I took some lash glue because I was ready to prep my lashes. So I actually took a cluster, 2 clusters that is, for my bottom lash and then for my top lashes because I haven't done this in so long, but it was so cute seeing it again. If you know, I had a beauty brand by the name of Glam Sessions Beauty Academy, and which that's another story in itself, but I still have my lashes from them that I never opened. And these were like 25mm lashes. Yes, girl, don't gag. 25mm. I know we kind of put those away for a while because we're like, girl, that was an era. You might have to bring that era back because just look at how gorgeous it took. It just added like the cherry on top to the makeup look. Like it was super duper pretty. So after I got that on, like I said, I went into a lash cluster. I actually used 2 large ones and I only used one. And I put that on my waterline. But that is pretty much it for this look, guys. If you love this look, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments which look you want to see next. I cannot wait to hear from you guys for Spooktober. I am taking requests. And once again, like I said, if you love this look, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments. And I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye.